Welcome to another episode of the Digital Contractor Show here on Turfs Up Radio. My name is Tim Fondrick from Hardscape Marketer, and I'm excited to have a guest today with me. My guest is Bonique Hollinrake. She's a project manager at Green Acres Landscape in Salem, Oregon. Bonique, welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of dive in and learn a little bit more about Green Acres Landscape and everything that you guys are doing. We've known each other for a long time, and so it's kind of cool to have you out as a guest here on the Digital Contractor Show. And looking forward to kind of again just spending a few minutes together. So thanks for being on. But yeah,
absolutely.
So with everything, your store and your office, and we'll dig into that a little bit more. But you're about what I think used to be a few blocks from me, from our office, but now your new location is probably 5-6 miles. I don't even know for sure.
Yeah, about that. We're only about 10 minutes away from you, but we just last year moved out to Gaston Road. And our office is actually just joined our operations there yesterday. Okay. So we're all out at Gaston Road now.
Nice. So tell us a little bit about, first of all, let's tell our listeners just a little bit about you. Like, how long have you been in the green industry? Just kind of tell us maybe a little bit about you and how you got started.
Okay. So I've been with Green Acres for almost 9 years, but I've been in the landscape construction industry for 13 years. I worked at a different company previously. Before I got into landscape construction, my background included I worked at a salon spa or managed it, and also a coffee shop. But with my background, you can tell that I am a people-oriented type of service person. So working at Green Acres really allows me to continue to serve people in the ways that I find are important. But then I also get to work with landscape and the environment, which is a really fun and important thing to me. So.
Yeah, that's cool. So coffee shop and salon and spa, that was a pretty big leap to go into a different industry. What did you just wake up one day and say, hey, I want to do something different, or is this always a dream?
Well, I actually got my first job in a landscaping company just as a receptionist and executive assistant. So it wasn't because of the industry, it was because of the type of job that was available. And then I did have a brief break because I was laid off during the recession. So I briefly worked for the Department of Revenue, and I hated it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I really appreciate all the things that I learned about business taxes and things like that while I worked there. But it wasn't really my type of vibe. So eventually I wanted to get back into what I knew, which was landscaping. And there was an opportunity for me to apply for a position as Rich's assistant at Green Acres.
That's awesome. So that was 9 years ago, and you've been going strong ever since.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So tell us some of the. I know you've had a few different roles at Green Acres Landscape. Tell us about those.
So initially, I was hired as Rich Kansky's executive assistant. And he's the president of the company. So I just basically did whatever he needed me to do. He and I had lots of conversations about my expertise and experience with commercial projects and the administration and management of them. So we kind of just took that and ran with it, and eventually created my role as a commercial estimator and project manager, while I was also managing the office And while I also am kind of our lead community outreach person, and I've filled all the roles. And at this point, I no longer manage the office, but I do still, I'm our lead commercial estimator. I'm one of our lead project managers, and I still do our community outreach things.
Yeah, so you still wear a few hats, but it sounds like you've really settled into a very positive role there for yourself at Green Acres.
Oh, definitely. And I mean, I really enjoy, like I mentioned before, the people part of my job. So a huge part of my job is maintaining our relationships with general contractors, our vendors, our community partners. And so because of those relationships, I've had a lot of opportunities come my way for me to continue my career growth within the industry.
That's awesome. So it sounds like you've found a great home and are enjoying what you do. So that's fantastic. Thanks for that professional introduction there. I appreciate it. I think with that, let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back to learn more about Green Acres Landscape. Thanks, Bonique. We'll be right back. Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, this is Tim Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscape business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. And we're back with another segment of the Digital Contractor Show here on Turfs Up Radio. I'm here with Bonique Hollinrake from Green Acres Landscape. Bonique, thanks for coming back for another segment.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate it. So you gave us a great background of your kind of foray into the industry, how you got started, and so forth. Now I'd like to, in this segment, kind of learn more about Green Acres Landscape and just share with our listeners a little bit more about you as a company. So how long have you guys been in business?
We've been in business since 1992. Rich started the company when he was 18 years old.
Okay.
With a lawnmower and a truck.
Nice. So it's probably the way a lot of people get started, right? In the landscape industry. And we were talking earlier this week, and I think I'm trying to remember kind of what the origin story was. Like why did he get started, or was this kind of something that fell in his lap, or did he really want to start a landscape business?
I'm not sure if Rich really wanted to start a landscaping business, but I think it's a good fit for him because he loves to be outside and take care of the environment and make nice spaces for people to enjoy and for them to live in. So it's like I said, it's a perfect fit for him. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. I was at a Oregon Landscape Contractors Association, dinner here last winter, and the guest speaker was, talking about what a beautiful opportunity we have in the landscape industry to create those beautiful spaces that people live in and entertain in and get married in, and all these different things that we have this opportunity. So that's a great fit. So tell us a little bit about kind of like how big the company is, how many people do you employ? Let's talk about that.
Okay. So we have over 100 employees, and we are full service landscape maintenance company. So that means that we do everything from basic lawn care maintenance to full-blown landscape construction installation projects. Our main focus is the Mid-Valley because this is where our home is. We do work throughout the entire state of Oregon and Southwest Washington, depending on the project. Mostly if we're traveling outside of the valley, it's for a friendly general contractor, somebody that we have a relationship with, and it would be a commercial project. But again, we do try to focus on staying within the mid-valley. There's plenty of opportunities for work and relationships here, and it's important for us to nurture those and, like I said, stay close to home, because if we take care of our community, then it'll take care of us.
Right. And for those listeners, those of our listeners that aren't familiar with the Willamette Valley here in Oregon, it's a beautiful area. We call it God's country, right, Bonique?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, no, I mean we're a little biased about Oregon, right? So we're in the valley, kind of the central part of the state, and that's what Bonique is talking about, kind of the mid valley, mid Willamette Valley, and then we've got Portland to the north of us, Eugene to the south, where University of Oregon. We've got the ocean, the beach, about an hour from us. We've got Mount Hood and skiing, Bachelor, Mount Bachelor, a couple hours away. So we really are situated in this beautiful, mid-valley area of Oregon. So that's awesome. So as you were saying, kind of the mix of, commercial, residential, what did you have an approximate breakdown kind of of service mix between commercial and residential for your company?
Honestly, most of the time it's about 50-50. And a lot of our guys too, especially in construction, are cross-trained for commercial or residential construction projects. And even on maintenance as well. A commercial client has different needs than a residential client, but I think we handle it all pretty well. And everybody keeps us busy.
Right. So, and just to talk a little bit about, like, on the residential side, kind of where is your project sweet spot in terms of like install or construction?
Well, we can do it all. And so if you have a project that's outside and you are considering getting some help with it, just call us, because we can figure it out. We like projects that take a day. We've been on projects that take a month, at people's homes. So really, I think it just depends on the crew and who would decide what is a sweet spot. I think it's all pretty sweet, what we do.
Yeah, and I like how you describe, if it's outside, give us a call. And then
we
can talk
because
about
there's been lots of opportunities for us to grow as a company too. Sometimes we get homeowners with these ideas that maybe stump us for a second, but we get to use that as an opportunity to learn something new, or to even just to learn something new about one of our staff members who actually knows how to do certain things that we weren't aware of. And it's always exciting.
So it sounds like you're really focusing on kind of solving problems, being innovative, and solving those problems for your customers.
Absolutely. We are solution-based type of people and company. And that's not to say that there's always a problem, but if there's something that needs to be done, then we will find a way to do it.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a great approach. And with that, let's go ahead and take another quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more from Bonique at Green Acres Landscape. All right, we're back with more with Bonique from Green Acres Landscape. Thanks again, Bonique, for being on the show today. And in this segment, I wanted to talk a little bit, just kind of get an idea for our listeners, like a little bit more about your marketing and some of the things that you're doing there. And I wanted to start out, we've actually been working, I wanted to start out and talk a little bit about brand messaging and brand story, because we've actually been working on that a little bit together. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing there?
Yes, we have been working with you on our new story brand. And I think I am really enjoying it because I feel like it's been a while since we've had an opportunity to talk about our brand in the way that we have been talking about it with you and your team. It's one of the things that with us being kind of a Mid-Valley staple is that we are well known in the area. So people see us all over the place all the time. But because of that, there's not really a lot of opportunity for us to necessarily share our story or brand as a company. I think a lot of times we show more than we tell. And so it's been really exciting to be able to verbalize how it's important for us to make sure that landscapes are about people and that we respect the environment while also protecting it, and that we are professional, qualified landscape experts. I've always considered us a leader in the industry in landscape and construction. So it's very exciting that we get to reiterate these things and find new ways to talk about them now.
Yeah, I think being able to verbalize and kind of go through the process of asking and answering, sometimes hard questions, but what makes you stand out? What makes you, where are things that what are things that are really important to your customers, and then how do you come alongside as that guide to solve those problems, as you mentioned earlier? Again, are just great opportunities to kind of craft that brand story, and that's the process that we're going through right now. So you mentioned earlier landscapes are about people, and before that you talked about relationships being so important. Tell us a little bit about how you build relationships and how that impacts your marketing.
So I mentioned earlier about how it's important for us to take care of the community that we live and work and play in. And so that means a lot of different things. But one way that we do that is by supporting local charitable organizations and other agencies like Boys and Girls Club, Family Building Blocks, our schools, and just other, organizations that definitely need support from members and businesses in the community. We don't always talk about those things that we do. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. But because of the support that Green Acres gives to these organizations, we have that presence in our community as being, a giving type of company. It's one way that we can take care of people, and we don't always look at it as what is Green Acres going to get out of this and how is this going to be profitable for us. Because again, we feel it's our responsibility to be taking care of our community, and that includes the people in it. We get to set an example by leading with our actions in those ways. We are one of a few landscapers in the area that actually are involved in the community agencies that I mentioned earlier and other ones. And I think that's really special, sets us apart. And people do notice that. People that eventually become our clients, a lot of them became our clients because they noticed the support that we were giving at a Boys and Girls Club event, or they talked to Rich at a YMCA breakfast or something like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, being in the same community, we see you in a lot of places, and really appreciate all the support that you guys do give, to the local organizations. And I think you guys are on different boards and stuff like that too. Are you personally on a board?
I last year, this is a professional achievement for me, so I'll share it. Last year, I was the first woman president and landscaper president of the Salem Contractors Exchange Board.
Wow.
So that's pretty exciting. But then I sit on the Salem Fire Foundation Board and the Oregon State Fair Foundation Board. And then Rich and Rob also sit on a couple of other boards as well.
That's awesome. So, really giving, giving of your time, your talent, your treasures, as we like to say, and not necessarily for a return here and now, but it sounds like building those relationships and being present in the community is a major part of your marketing.
Yeah, and it sometimes it's a foundational type of work, because it's something that we want to be doing as people, and then it eventually can grow into something else that benefits us professionally, or that benefits somebody else professionally that we get to do work with. And so I think it's important for us all to remember that we get involved with these organizations at a personal level too. And there's been new organizations that we've been getting involved with because of the people within Green Acres, and what they're passionate about. Sure,
that makes sense. So, well, that's great. That's again, it sounds like a big part of your, just being present in the community, and a big part of your marketing. So with that, let's go ahead and take another quick commercial break. We will be right back with more on the Digital Contractor Show. Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, this is Tim Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscape business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. Once again, welcome back to the Digital Contractor Show here on Turfs Up Radio. My guest today is Bonique Hollinrake with Green Acres Landscape here in Salem. So, Bonique, thanks for sharing with us today so far, and looking forward to hearing more in this segment about just kind of some of the things you're doing on the digital marketing front. So, thanks for coming back.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we were talking during the break that you've done some different interviews before, and I think that's awesome. So this is not something new for you, and I think it's a great opportunity for you as a professional to grow, to grow professionally. But let's talk a little bit about, kind of digital marketing. As we always say, this is the Digital Contractor Show. So we like to kind of dive in a little bit about, what you're doing on the digital marketing front. Let's start with your website. I know you guys have an active website. Let's talk, tell me a little bit about how you guys use it.
Okay, I love our website, and I love directing people to our website, and I'm very excited that we're going to be getting some updates to our website over the next month or so. We have a pretty extensive gallery of our projects and other things that Green Acres has been involved in. So we regularly refer potential clients to our website to look at the gallery. But then at the same time, there's a lot of information about us as a company and the people that work for and with Green Acres. Our qualifications, some of those are listed on our website as well. Plus, our website is also a great way for somebody like me who might not want to necessarily pick up the phone to schedule a contractor to come out. They can request that the office our office contact them by going to our website and putting in their information and a little bit about the project that they're looking to meet with somebody about.
Right. So it sounds like, I mean, and we are going to have the opportunity to work on some things, and that's awesome. It sounds like you really do, use it as a customer facing tool, and that's important to recognize and leverage, right? So, it's not just it's not just kind of oh, well, we've got this website. No, it's like, we've got a website. Let me show you our capability, our qualifications. Let me show how we can come alongside you and solve problems for you, and to use that as a tool.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And something that I, as a person, am pretty neurotic about is a really good website, because it's an excellent tool for somebody to use whenever they want to, no matter what time of day, no matter where they are, to get the information that they need. So, for example, I think it's really important for contractors to have photos of their key staff, or maybe group photos of the people that work there, especially because I live alone and I would like to know who's coming to my home if I scheduled an estimate. So we added that to our website. We get feedback from our clients and other partners in the community about our website, and revise it pretty regularly so that we can make sure that we're continuing to provide useful and helpful information to whoever wants to look at our site.
Right. Well, you mentioned something really key too. Like, people do business with people, and it's about building the know, like, and trust factor. So being able to present, kind of that, or to help build that trust factor before they even pick up the phone or contact you is so key. And that's a lot of what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think it's helpful too, even when you work, for me, when I worked with a contractor for a long time, I'll say one of our vendors or something, and I've always talked to them on the phone. And then I've had some of them say to me, "Oh, I looked up your website. Now I can put a face to your name and your voice, and so I can actually picture
right.
who I'm talking to." I think that adds kind of nice element to the relationship that we've already created.
For sure. So tell me, in addition to the website, you guys are using social media. Can you tell us a little bit about what social sites you're on, and kind of maybe a little bit about your marketing, presence on social media?
So we have our Facebook, which we have definitely stepped up our Facebook game over the last year or so. We try to post not just about what's going on in the company, but about the people that work at Green Acres. So that we're regularly posting things on Facebook. We also use Facebook as a platform for the ways that we are involved in our community. So if we're sponsoring an event, we will share that with our Facebook audience as well. And then we have an Instagram, which I think is great for, landscaper or visual type of industry. And so we've been working on taking advantage of Instagram in that way, and showcasing not just the products that we use, but also the projects and, again, the people that we are working with on a regular basis.
So you just mentioned kind of 3 Ps. So we could recap that into, using social media to showcase products, projects, and people. And I think that's a great way to share kind of, more about your company and your story of who you are. So, yeah. Anything else to add real quick on digital marketing?
I just keep an eye out, and if you have any input, if you follow us on either of our digital marketing social media platforms, I'm always open to hearing input.
Awesome. Yeah, so we'll be sharing that as we wrap up the show today. How people can follow you and everything, but definitely connect. On social media. So awesome. Well, so website, social media, those are fantastic ways in this digital economy and digital world that we live in. And it sounds like you guys are being really active and proactive about that. So with that, let's go ahead and take another quick break here on the Digital Contractor Show. We will be right back. And we're back on the Digital Contractor Show with another segment. And I am here with Bonique Hollinrake with Green Acres Landscape. Bonique, thanks again. I'm really enjoying kind of learning more. I didn't know some of these things about you, so it's great to learn more about it and about, of course, Green Acres Landscape. In this segment, we always kind of like to talk about either a favorite project or a favorite cause. And we were talking during the break that, clearly during this challenging time, a lot of nonprofits and organizations are kind of facing challenges that they're not used to having. So tell us a little bit maybe about one of your favorite causes and ways that we can support that effort.
So for me, it's really, I've been a huge advocate for women and young people in the industry, but also just generally. And so I worked a lot with students, including at the construction at CTEC, which is our trade school in Salem, Oregon. So obviously right now school is closed. So I don't get to have that face time with students as much as I would right now. We also, because we understand that young people are our future, we support programs that support students and families. So like Family Building Blocks and Boys and Girls Club, they're both have to be closed right now. So we are finding other ways that we can support those nonprofits so that they can continue their mission on keeping families safe and young people safe and healthy. So Family Building Blocks is probably one of my favorite agencies, local agencies. One of their big fundraising events is actually scheduled in a couple weeks. And they had to cancel the in-person portion of that event. So they switched that to be online. It's called Uncorked, and it's usually a 2-night event, but this year it'll be a digital week-long event. So if you're interested in Family Building Blocks or supporting them or finding more about their mission, you can visit their website, and they have all the information about Uncorked and how it's going to be changed this year.
Yeah.
Boys and Girls Club.
Or go ahead.
Oh yeah, Boys and Girls Club, another big event that had to be canceled was Cinco de Micro, which is a brew fest that supports the Boys and Girls Club in Marion Polk County. And that is actually going to be next weekend, but it's been postponed. So the way to support Boys and Girls Club would be just to become a sustainer or donate directly to them. They're working really hard to make sure that even though their clubs aren't open, that the youth that go to their clubs are still getting, are still having resources available to them.
Yeah, I mean, such important, roles that these organizations play. I mean, obviously locally, but similar organizations across the country, and I think the realities that we're all in obviously has changed some things in terms of live events, but I think we're seeing organizations really be creative, and taking their events online and just being innovative of how, how people can come alongside them, in different times, for now, and then keep moving forward to provide, support for their organizations. Yeah. So important. Anything else to add in those in that particular area?
No.
That's all
I mean,
good.
I talk about that stuff for forever, so we'll just leave it at that for now.
Yeah. So again, thank you first of all for everything you guys do, in the community. Again, very visible and keeping organizations going strong. And I think we can all, do our part, whether it's time or sharing or monetary resources, to continue to support the organizations that do such good work in our community, and in our communities across the country. So thank you, Bonique, for sharing that for some of your favorite causes, and we appreciate that. So with that, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll be back with more here on the Digital Contractor Show on Turfs Up Radio. Hey, Turfs Up Radio fans, this is Tim Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer. Are you frustrated or overwhelmed with marketing your business? If you'd like to be a local market leader, create a steady stream of new customers, and spend more time doing the things you love, we can help. We know what it's like to build a landscape business, run crews, and work with customers. If you're ready to grow your business by getting your internet marketing right, download our ultimate internet marketing cheat sheet today at hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. That's hardscapemarketer.com/cheat sheet. Thanks for coming back for another segment here on the Digital Contractor Show. My name is Tim Fondrick with Hardscape Marketer, and I'm joined here as my guest, Bonique Hollinrake with Green Acres Landscape here in Salem, Oregon. We're practically neighbors, so that's awesome. So thanks for sharing with us so far. And I always like this segment. It's kind of the hindsight is 2020, right? We can always learn so much from our past. And I actually like to say that I probably made every mistake in the book, but hopefully I'm learning from some of them. So, but Bonique, I'd love to kind of hear maybe, some of the top, 2 to 3 things that you really wish you would have known when you started in the industry. And so if you could share some of those, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Well, first, I'm a woman in a male-dominated industry, and I kind of knew that going into it. It is construction. So I'd say the first thing I wish I would have known or maybe told myself when I started in that regard is to trust myself more. I think that now that I've been, in the industry longer and become more comfortable, that's definitely something that I wish I would have trusted myself more when I was younger and just getting started in the industry. Another thing is definitely be flexible. I'm generally a flexible person, especially at work and in this industry too. It's very important. When I first started in the industry, though, I wasn't always flexible, and maybe that was my youth. But again, I would definitely say be more flexible early on. When you are flexible, there are more opportunities for growth and learning, which in turn just means better things coming your way.
Nice.
And then the last thing, which I did know from the beginning, but I think it's important to reiterate, is to advocate for the people around you. I think that's one of the best ways to lead, is to advocate for other people who are doing a good job, who want to be here, who want to learn. I've learned a lot of things from people I've been advocating for and working with. And so I would definitely, and I do definitely share that piece of advice with anybody who will listen to it.
Yeah. Wow. Those are 3 really good things. So just to kind of recap, trust yourself more, right? I think was the first one.
Yeah.
as especially as as a woman, but anybody, but yes, definitely, and as a woman coming into this industry and just trusting that you've got the knowledge and expertise. I think that's great advice for women getting into the industry, and there's lots of room for that. Right? I mean, would I guess? Well, let me ask you. I mean, would you encourage other women to join you in the industry?
Yes, it's not always easy, but I think it's worth it. It is worth it.
Right.
And it's not just women, but young people too. Trust yourself. You're in the spot that you're in because you want to be there, and you know your stuff. And if you don't, then you'll live and learn.
Right. So great advice. The second one was to be flexible. So can you give us an example of what you mean by that? Because I think that's also really powerful.
Yeah, I think that sometimes the people that I've worked with over the years, the ones that have had the most challenging time, are ones that are not flexible. And by that, I mean, maybe not understanding of how construction, especially construction and especially landscaping, where we're working with natural products and nature, things are not always going to go how you might want them to go. But instead of staying rigid or getting upset, it's much easier and beneficial if you can kind of just go with the flow. And it's not always an easy thing to do, even for me. But I have found when I let it go and just roll with the punches, that my projects run better. I feel better as a professional, where I can trust myself. People respect me more, and given more opportunities to lead and manage projects and other things that I'm interested in doing.
Really, really key advice there, I think. And then finally kind of advocating, which I think segues nicely. And I mean, you talked about being flexible and then earning that respect. And then, being given, more leadership opportunities, which then segues really nicely into advocating for other people to, step into their roles and so forth. Yeah, all good stuff. Anything else you'd like to add kind of in closing on this segment?
Just remember that there's always room for you at the table. And if you feel like there's not, then bring your own chair and sit at the table and do what you want to do. Make sure that you are being heard, but make sure that you're also respecting the people, the professionals around you.
That's awesome. If there's always room at the table, and if not, bring your own chair. I love that. Love that. So, well, that is really good advice. Those are things that you've learned in your 13 years in the industry, and I appreciate you sharing that with us. So we are going to take one final break for a quick commercial break, but we're going to wrap up when we come back and just tell people how to get a hold of you, and we'll do that when we get back. So thanks, Bonique. Welcome back to our final segment of the Digital Contractor Show here on Turfs Up Radio. I'm here with Bonique Hollinrake from Green Acres Landscape. Bonique, thanks so much for sharing with our listeners today. It's been fun to get to know you and fun to get to know more about Green Acres Landscape. In our closing segment here, I'd love to just have you share maybe a closing nugget. And we were talking during the break about kind of connecting with other professionals in the industry. Maybe you could share just a little bit about how you've done that and how important that's been.
Yeah, so again, I am a woman in a male-dominated industry, so I feel like I have to work extra hard sometimes. So it's over the years, I've cultivated some relationships with other women, specifically in landscaping, but also in construction, and other advocates for me and allies through men in the industry. So I make sure that I maintain those relationships, because they're not just professionally fulfilling for me, but also personally. I have some lady landscaper friends in other parts of the country who I met through an industry conference, and we stay connected a couple times a year other than the conference, so that we all know what's going on with each other in our lives, but also at work. These women own their own companies and are really boss type of ladies. And I know I can rely on them and the other people in my, my Rolodex, to provide me with guidance if I need it. They have expert input, and really good takes on, anything really that I take to them. So honestly, I'm not sure I would be in this industry for as long as I have without the support of people like them.
Yeah. So key. I mean, it sounds like you've really been able to connect with them as, on a personal level and as, with mentors and different things in the industry. So I think that's a really good closing nugget for us. So if people want to get a hold of you and or Green Acres Landscape, how would you suggest what are some of the best ways to do that?
Okay, so our website is greenacreslandscapeinc.com. I'm on there. If you want to email me, it's just my first name at greenacreslandscapeinc.com. My cell phone number's on there. You can call me, text me, whatever. Since I'm in charge of our Instagram, you can follow us there. I would recommend you do it. Beautiful shots and cool stuff on there. That's at Green Acres Landscape. You can DM us about anything that we post. And then we also have our Facebook, which we're very active on as well, and that's Green Acres Landscape. So check us out. We're all over the place. If you see us around town, if you're in town, stop us, talk to us. We love talking to people.
Awesome. Well, you guys are a people business, and I know we talked about that earlier in the week and also today. So that's fantastic. So, Bonique, thanks again for joining me here on the Digital Contractor Show. I appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys do in the industry, and again, kind of a shared goal to elevate and educate the industry, which is fantastic. So. We always like to do a quick shout out. So if you're willing to give a quick shout out for Turfs Up Radio, that'd be awesome. Now's the time.
All right, I'll do it. Let's see. Hopefully I get this right. My name's Bonique from Green Acres Landscape, and you're listening to my favorite radio station, Turfs Up Radio, rocking the green industry.
Awesome. You did it, and you did it well. So thank you so much. And this has been fun. I appreciate it. And so just for everybody listening either live or on the podcast replay or the video replay, wherever you're listening, we appreciate you. And thank you so much. And wherever you are and whatever you do in the green industry, make it a great day. Bonique, thank you for joining us. And you have a great day and a great rest of the week. And we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.